Assalamu alaikum. Hello everybody. I'm your host Muhammad Mitwalli and today with the scale 13 from the Toefl Pbt structure skills. Scale 13. Use reduced adjective clause correctly. Adjective clause can appear in a reduced form. In the reduced form, the adjective clause connector and the verb be that directly follow it are omitted. The woman who's waving to us is the tour guide. The letter which was written last week arrived today. The picture that is on the table is full of iced tea. Each of these sentences may be used in the complete form or in the reduced form. In the reduced form, the connector who, which, or that is omitted along with be verb, is or was. If there is no be verb in the adjective clause, it is still possible to have a reduced form. When there is no be verb in the adjective clause, the connector is omitted and the verb is changing to the ing form. As you saw here, I omitted who and verb to be, which and verb to be, that and verb to be. But in this example here, I don't have verb to be, so it says, I don't understand the article which appears in today's paper. After which I have appears, because this which here works as a subject, not only connector, but works also as a subject. So this is the verb. So I have to change this into ing. It says here in this example, there is no be verb in the adjective clause which appears in today's paper, so the connector which is omitted, and the main verb appears is changed to the ing form appearing. It should be noted that not all adjective clause can appear in reduced form. An adjective clause can appear in reduced form only if the adjective clause connector is followed directly by a verb. In other words, an adjective clause can only be reduced if the connector is also a subject. So for example, the woman that I just met is the tour guide. The letter which you sent me arrived yesterday. If you can see here, doesn't reduce and this doesn't reduce. Why these two sentences don't get reduced easily? Because that here is followed by I, so it is not followed by the verb, so that means it's just a connector. You can drop only this connector, not omit the verb. In these two examples, the adjective clause cannot be reduced because the adjective clause connectors that and which are not directly followed by verbs. That is directly followed by the subject I, and which is directly followed by the subject you. As you can see, that I, that you. A final point to note is that some adjective clauses are set off from the rest of the sentence with commas, and these adjective clauses can also be reduced. In addition, when an adjective clause is set off with commas, the reduced adjective clause can appear at the front of the sentence. For example, the White House, which is located in Washington, is the home of the president. So here, which is located in Washington, this adjectival clause that defined which White House I'm talking about, and it's set off with commas. So it can be like this: the White House located in Washington is the home of the president. This is the first level of making it reduced. I remove which and I remove is. Then I change this, put it at the beginning like here. Located in Washington, the White House is the home of the president. The president now preparing to give a speech is meeting with advisors. Now preparing to give a speech, the president is meeting with his advisors. As you can see, it's two levels of reducing. At the beginning, you reduce the connector and the subject with the verb to be, of course. After that, you change this reduced form and put it at the beginning because it was originally set off with comma. So in these two examples, the adjective clause are set off from the rest of the sentence with commas, so each sentence can be structured in three different ways. 1. With the complete clause, like the first one here, nothing happened. 2. With reduced clause following the noun that is described as usual, like the second one here, the president now preparing to give a speech is meeting with advisor, I just reduced who and verb to be. Or 3. With the reduced clause at the beginning of the sentence, like number 3 here. This is the reduced clause and I changed its position and put it at the beginning. The following example shows how reduced adjective clause could be tested in structure question, the TOEFL test. Let's see. On several different revisions programs, then comma, the witness gave conflicting accounts of what had happened. As you can see here, this is the sentence. So I should have here adjective clause that describes the second sentence. So he appeared, it should have connector, of course. The only one easily here that have connector, it says who appeared, but it is not reduced. So he appeared, subject and verb, but there is no relation with the second one. Who appeared on several different television, I didn't say who. Appearing, this is the only reduced form. It's the best answer because it's ing form. So let's say in this example, answer A is incorrect because there are two clauses, he appeared and the witness gave, and there is no connector as we said to join them. Answer B is incorrect because the adjective clause such as who appeared cannot appear at the beginning of the sentence unless it's reduced form. Answer C is the correct answer because it is the reduced form of the clause who appeared, and this reduced form can appear at the front of the sentence. Answer D is not the reduced form of the verb, it is merely a verb in the present tense. A verb such as appears needs a subject and a connector to be correct. The following chart lists the structure for reduced adjective clause and rules of how and when reduced form can be used. Let's see. With a be verb in the adjective clause, easily you have to remove who or which or that along with verb to be. Both of them should be removed. With no be in the adjective clause, easily you have to remove who or which or that and change the verb which is in the sentence to ing. Some notes here. To reduce an adjective clause, omit the adjective clause, connector, subject, and verb to be. If there is no verb to be, omit the connector, or the subject, and change the main verb to ing form. This is the second one. Only reduce an adjective clause if the connector subject is directly followed by the verb. That means if the connector is the subject. This is the only case. If an adjective clause is set up with commas, the reduced clause can be moved in front of the sentence only in the case of comma, and it should be reduced before it moved. Exercise 13. Each of the following sentences contain an adjective clause in a complete or reduced form. Underline the adjective clause, then indicate if the sentences are correct, C, or incorrect, I. Let's go to number 3. Serving a term of 4 years, the mayor of the town will face re-election next year. Serving is ing form, that means it could be reduced clause. Okay, a term of 4 years, and I have a comma here. The mayor is the subject, will face is the verb, so it's talking about the subject. This is reduced clause moved at the beginning. This is the third level of reducing, serving a term of 4 years. This one was who was serving a term of 4 years, and it was in the beginning. So the original sentence, it was the mayor, comma, who was serving a term of 4 years will face re-election next year. But I reduced who and was or who and is, and then after I reduced it, I moved it to the beginning because it's set off with commas. So this sentence 3 is correct. 4. The brand new Cadillac purchasing less than 2 weeks ago was destroyed in the accident. I have one here reduced clause here between two commas, and the original sentence is the brand new Cadillac was destroyed in the accident. This without the reduced clause is correct, but let's look at the reduced clause. Purchasing is wrong reduction. So because purchasing, that means the Cadillac did something, but it should have been in the passive way. So this should have been purchased for the passive, because the Cadillac was purchased, not was purchasing. Cadillac is a car cannot purchase, and purchase means buy, by the way. So this one is wrong, incorrect. 5. The fans who supporting their team always come out of the game in large numbers. The fans, subject, who is a connector, and it defines this. Supporting, no, I have who, then I have ing. This doesn't work. Either to put verb to be here, so it should be the fans who are supporting, or remove who. The fans supporting their team always comes. Where is the verb of the fans? Come. This is the verb of the subject, fans. But supporting here, which is the adjective clause, who supporting, it's wrong. It doesn't work. You should remove who or add verb to be here. This is one of two answers. 6. The suspect can be seen in the photographs were just released by the police. The suspect is the subject, can be seen, this is the verb. In the photograph, I'm talking about the photograph, were just released. Which were just released? This, if I need it. Or just released, because this here, one were just released, this is the adjective clause and it's reduced because I have here who. But when I remove who, or the connector, which is the subject, I should remove verb to be as well. So you remove who, you remove verb to be, or you keep both of them. So this sentence is incorrect, whether you remove where or you add the connector. 7. The food placed on the picnic table attracted a large number of flies. The food is the subject, attracted is the verb, and placing on the picnic table is the adjective clause that describes the word food, but it's wrong. It is not reduced correctly. Why? Because it should be like this. The food placed, because I place the food doesn't place itself. So you use the third form of the verb, not the ing form here, because of the meaning. The meaning doesn't go like that. So I reduced which here, so it should have been the food which was placed. This is the original sentence. The food which was placed on the picnic table attracted a large number of flies. And then I remove which and I remove is, so it should be the food placed, like that. So 7 is incorrect. 8. Impressed with everything she had heard about the course, Mary signed her children up for it. So as I can see from the comma here, I have reduced moved adjective clause. Mary signed up for her children. This is the original sentence. So this sentence was like this. Mary, who was impressed with everything she had heard about the course, of course. So this is the noun clause, and it's reduced and it's put at the beginning and everything is going well. So sentence 8 is correct. 9. The passengers in the airport waiting room heard the announcement of the cancelled flight, groaned audibly. The passengers, this is the subject, then I have comma. Heard the announcement of the cancelled flight. This is the set of adjective clause, and then I have the verb groaned. Groaned is the verb for the passengers. So let's look at the adjective clause here. The original one should have been like this. The passengers in the airport waiting room who were hearing for the announcement. Then I remove who and I remove was, so I should be left with hearing, not heard, because heard is a verb. So I don't have a verb. I should have reduced form, which is hearing. So this sentence is incorrect. Heard should be hearing. 10. Dissatisfied with the service at the restaurant, the meal really wasn't enjoyable. Dissatisfied with the service at the restaurant, this is the reduced moved adjective clause here. The meal is the subject, wasn't is the verb, but this clause should be talking about the meal. How on earth would a meal be dissatisfied? I have two options. Either to talk about myself, I say dissatisfied with the service and at the restaurant, I didn't like the meal. This is good because I could be dissatisfying. But the meal cannot be dissatisfied because it doesn't feel. So this sentence, everything according to grammar is right. Grammatically, the sentence is perfect, but according to the meaning, it's illogical. So it's wrong because this meal can be dissatisfied. It's reduced correctly. It's put at the beginning correctly. Even this is wrong. Okay, so this is not okay. I should change the subject, the meal here, to make I, customer, anything that can be dissatisfied. Anything that this adjective could describe, not the meal. The meal cannot be described by the word dissatisfied. So 10 is incorrect. I hope you liked it. It's a little bit long scale, I know, but You have to practice it over and over until it's easy. Until I meet with you for another skill, take care of yourselves and goodbye.